I noticed that in my life, whenever I was going through, that this happened to me, because I wasn't doing right. So good things wasn't that coming my way. When you buying stuff in the street that is not yours, that is stolen, all that energy is not good. None of that energy is good, you know? So I had to learn. 57 years I had to learn. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're a nice guy, you're positive. Yeah, but I got bad habits, which I've picked up along the way. And now I try to replace them. Every week, every month, and I practice. Okay, my name is Ramon Cruz. I'm 57 years old. Um, we were a family of 7, 3 boys and 4 girls, and my dad did the unexpected thing of putting his hands on my mother, and my mother left. We used to live here in Massachusetts, and we were born in New York. The 3 youngest ones were born in New York. The 4 older ones were born in the Dominican Republic. When they broke up, my father tracked us down and found us in New York and told my mother he was taking us to Central Park, and we wound up here in Massachusetts. I was 10 years old, my sister was 8, and my little brother was 5. My father used to traumatize us, stand us in front of the phone, and the phone wouldn't ring. He said, see, your mother doesn't love you. As far as in the 70s when we were brought here, I didn't have no idea of what racism was. In New York, you don't get to pick your neighbors. You know, New York is the melting pot. So when I came here, I was bused to East Boston, and that was not a good experience. Rocks thrown. I didn't know what the word nigger was until it was used on me, and then I figured out what that word was. And I come from New York, the melting pot. I came here, and that's when I first heard it. When I missed the bus, and I tried going on the train myself, figuring, oh, these are colors, I can figure this out. I got off my Andrew Station, which is South Boston then, and I got jumped by 3 men. And I was 10 years old. I didn't know what the word nigger was until that day. And I guess that was me. So the bus driver seen me crying, and then he screamed at me and told me, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be over here. He put me on a bus, and I made it to East Boston, back to school. Then I was scared to tell my father. My father, everything that, he was very abusive of me, because I looked like my mother. And if I told him, he was just gonna whip me, you know? My father did a lot of hurtful things to me. For not going to school one time, he hung me, for smoking cigarettes. He caught me smoking cigarettes. He hung me like Jesus Christ. He put a hook in my room and hung me like that for the weekend. By him, my sister, and my little brother went to the park. They left me hanging there. He was a good man in the sense he meant well. He just didn't know how to discipline, you know. So all that had an effect on me. After going through all the abuse with my dad, I finally found my mother in New York. And I told them I wanted to leave. I was 15 at the time. When I go back to New York, I'm expecting to have that motherly love, you know, that, because I was being raised by a man. My sister and her husband introduced me to cocaine. And that, just turned my whole life upside down. At 15 years old, you know, I was too young. I was already damaged by the trauma that I went through with my dad. You know, that's not what I needed at the time. So I wanted to go to jail, wound up having a drug problem till 5 years ago. is like when I really stopped. My father died 5 years ago, and I said I forgave him. So I came here to bury him, and in the process, I learned that I never forgave him. I was just saying it to try to feel good. So I went to the Arbor House. It's an outpatient program here, which helped me deal with forgiveness. And now I feel good. And now I feel better telling my story, because hopefully it helps me, and at the same time, it might help somebody else that have gone through what I've gone through. When I came down here to bury my father, a drunk driver in Boylston, ran the red light and totaled my truck. I've been homeless since I lost my vehicle. And now's when I'm gonna finally get an apartment. I got a little money from the settlement, and I bought a brand new car. I said I might as well invest it in a car than take the chances of having all that money and people coming asking me, my family, or you never know, I might relapse. I gotta be honest with myself. Relapse is part of recovery. So I figured I'd spend the money on the car. I needed it. So I bought a brand new car in Florida. So I still have my Florida license. I drove it back up here. I just hope that my story could help somebody. And I try to look at everything, regardless of how negative it is, I always try to bring out the positive of it. And in my 57 years of living, whatever energy you put out there, that's the energy you're gonna get back. So if you're doing wrong, that's what's gonna come back your way. I don't blame nobody. I don't hold no grudge against her or my brother. I still talk to them. I'm actually the first person to be there every time they move. I'm the only one that shows up. And these are the people that messed up my life. But I don't hold grudges. I feel that it's something that I had to go through, and it's made me a better person. And if you could forgive, if you could learn to forgive, you'll know how peaceful that is. Right now, if God asks for me, I don't have no regrets. I am happy with myself. I don't have no money. I have a vehicle. I'm about to get an apartment, but I feel rich because I have peace of mind.